cut up some old 100% wool sweaters and felted them. Then I cut them into strips and made them into a ball, and then put them in a trouser sock and washed them in hot water in the washing machine. And the final result came out okay. You can see it's kind of felted together. It doesn't fall apart immediately, but they don't look that pretty. And I probably could have not felted the sweater, made the balls, and then felted it, and it might have felted nicer. But then I thought I could just make a sleeve and make them look really cool on the Addi. So here's the finished result of doing 18 rows on the Addi and then cinching it up at both ends. So they certainly look cool. But then I'm going to felt those and see how they turn out. So then when they're used in the dryer, they won't unravel at all. So I'll keep you posted. I'm using Patton's color wool just because it's what they had at Michael's, and it was on sale for $4.99 a skein. And you can see that it's a bulky yarn, which I think is fine for this. It makes it less net-like when it's gone around the ball. And it is 100% wool, and it's not washable wool. So it should felt is what the thought is. I know there was wool in Michael's and it said super washable. I think it was merino. And I read some stuff online and looked at some YouTube videos, and I don't think that felts. So this is what I'm using. I thought the colors were pretty cool. I got 3 colors actually. I got a blue, like a pinky color, and then a predominant white with some other colors. They're the colors of the balls that I previously showed you. So now I'm just going to do the normal cast on process on the Addi and make 18 rows. Depending on the size of your dryer balls, I guess you could do a little more, a little less. I kind of like it not as tight on the ball. It's tight, but it isn't super stretched. That way it gives some extra yarn to just felt together. So when I get to 18, I just cut my yarn as normal, take it off. I always complete the first black stitch. I don't know if that's the right way to do it or not. But then I thread my needle. This can be tricky sometimes. Push my carrier shut, and then I just go through and pick up every stitch. I don't skip any because I don't want any drop stitches. You can see it just cinching up the end of my ball. So what I normally do is just work this a little bit, pull ever so gently to tighten it up. Then I just poke this through, and I usually like working from the inside because it leaves the outside of the ball pretty. I don't know if it's going to be pretty after it's felted or not, but I figured let's make it look as professional as we can. So then I just go through and put a couple knots in here, and then I go across the circle at the end and just kind of really sew this ball closed. See what I'm doing here? Just going through the very ends where that one string is basically holding all these stitches together, and do a few knots. So, and you can just see I pulled my yarn apart by doing that. So I just want to make sure it's tight. I just leave the extra string of yarn in there. I don't think it can hurt. So there I have one end of my little pouch. Then what I'm going to do is pop in my felted crazy ball. Kind of position it down in there. Guess I could have done it the way, I don't know if it's even at a certain angle here or not. Get it in there, Looks like a flower at that point. You can see the bottom of the ball. Kind of stretch it out, push it in, and then again, gently, so I don't want to separate my yarn, I'm going to pull the top shut. I keep moving it up and into place, not to put too much stress on the yarn at the top. Then what I'll do is I'll get my needle and then just sew this up. And then you can kind of massage the ball, look more like a ball. I know it's a little odd shaped right now, but I think they really kind of look cool. So I'll go up and felt them, and then I'll take them out and then show you what they look like after. I think if I left them like this, they might be okay in the short term. I don't know if the friction in the dryer would just wear this down and then they would become unraveled. So I kind of want to felt them to see if this will make this more of a uniform piece. They'll be able to take some abuse in the dryer. So, and again, you can see that married with the other three, they really kind of look cool. I think they'd be cool as a gift in a set of 3 or 4. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these balls that I just did, and I have a black trouser sock. I just stole this from my wife. And I'm just going to put them in here, and I'm sure you can look up other people. You just pretty much stick them in here, and the goal is so they don't unravel in the wash. And I usually just make a knot in between. Probably could use a rubber band, but I'm not going to pull it too tight. Do you see that? And then I'm just going to put the next one and see how many I can get in here without needing to go on to another sock. Here's my dryer balls after they were felted. Again, if you watch the first part of this video, you'll see that I took a reclaimed sweater, cut it in strips. The problem I had was I felted the sweater before I started cutting it in strips. Next time I might just bunch it up in the balls and then felt it to see if they stay together better. But regardless, this made them really look pretty, and I think the result would be really good in the dryer. So you can still see some of the stitches. I washed these twice, but pulling them out of the stocking, they really are pretty well felted together. And the ball's pretty solid on the inside as well. So I think the overall combination looks really cool. I'll probably do a couple sets as gifts. And I thought they came out really fun. And that Patton's color wool really came out nice. And you can kind of see the colors, and just makes the dryer balls fun. Thanks, bye.